Communications Manager and a Legislative Liaison for the Texas Homeschool Coalition. I just want to talk to you real quick. I don't have quite as much helpful information specifically for y'all like Emily and Tony. Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. I don't remember.
But I do want to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing this session. You guys came on a more exciting day than what I've actually been able to tell y'all in the past. Just a few updates. So if you guys don't know, if this is your first time here, or if you don't know, the Texas Homeschool Coalition is working on 3 specific pieces of legislation that we believe would really benefit homeschoolers specifically, and also parental rights as well. The first one being the Tim Tebow bill, which probably most of y'all have heard of. What that would do is actually would allow homeschoolers to participate in extracurricular activities that have been sanctioned by UIL, and it would basically make it to where they could actually play those sports and participate in those activities within the school district that they're paying taxes in. And so we're working on that one right now. That's one of the biggest ones that we're pushing. We're also working on a piece of parental rights legislation. With that one, basically what that would do is it would close a loophole in the family code in the grandparents access statute, which would basically make it to where grandparents or in-laws could not sue for access or possession of a child of a single parent without proving that the parent is unfit. Currently, the way it is that the judges can actually issue temporary orders, basically allowing for an indefinite time where a in-law or a grandparent can sue for access or possession. So what our bill would actually do is it would close that loophole by making it to where the judge could not issue those temporary orders until the grandparent has proven that the single parent is unfit to take care of the child. We're approaching this from a parental rights standpoint. Back in the 80s when this coalition started, we kind of started to shift our focus, not away from homeschooling, but kind of to include parental rights, because we felt like if we don't have parental rights, we wouldn't have homeschool rights in general. So that's something we've also added. We're also working kind of last minute on something we've kind of really it's come to our attention, is a higher education bill that we're working on. It's authored by Senator Charles Perry. What that one would do is it would actually make it to where state colleges would actually view homeschool or non-traditional students the same as high school students, and it would basically make it to where you could not require higher test scores from those homeschool students or non-traditional students just because they didn't come from necessarily an accredited high school. And so that's what that would do. It would also make it to where the state colleges could not assign a default class rank under the 50 percentile. And that's one where we just feel like we want to give equal opportunity to homeschoolers as far as admission to state college. We really feel like it's something that, in general, if you look at the numbers, there's nothing saying that homeschoolers in general as a whole are less intelligent or less capable of being accepted into colleges and succeeding in colleges. And we feel like this is something that we could pass to make that process easier. So a little bit of an update on our bills and where we are on those. Today is actually a pretty busy day for us. We're working a lot on several things. Parental rights is the first one that we're working on. We're actually going to be going to every person on both the House and Senate committee. We are working to get a vote count. Specifically for the Senate committee, the chair, Joanne Huffman, has been dragging her feet a little bit on the bill, but she finally told us early this week, that she is ready to have a hearing date for it, and we need to get a vote count for her, so we're moving along on that one. As far as passing legislation, parental rights is by far our first priority to pass. We definitely feel like it is the primary piece of legislation that we really want to see passed this session. So we're working on that one. We're working on getting a vote count for that today. As far as Tim Tebow, we were told last week that the chair is ready to get us a committee hearing date. We are waiting for that, and we are working the committees constantly, really just to see who would be willing to support it. And things are looking really good in both the House and the Senate. We're just working on committees at this point, making sure that we can get that through. And the next big thing will be getting that through the House committee. And then higher ed is probably the one we're furthest along on. We have a committee hearing date scheduled for 9 o'clock tomorrow, Wednesday. And really what we would ask for you guys, if you could drop a card in favor. If you have any questions, you can talk to me afterwards. But if you could drop a card in favor, that would be really great. Like, I think it was Emily or Tony, one of them, said that they were that this is the first session where they've had electronic registration for the Senate. It makes it a whole lot easier. Just go log in, click that you are in favor of the bill and go ahead and put your name and address. That would really help us out a lot. We're trying not to get a whole lot of testimony because we don't feel like it's going to be, we don't feel like it's a controversial issue. So we're really just looking to see who would be willing to support it. And if you could do that for us, that'd be awesome. Yes, sir.
What are the bill numbers?
So the bill number for higher ed would be 1543. For the one that is,
House bill?
that is going to be Senate bill, sir. And then the Tim Tebow bill is House Bill 347, Senate Bill 391. And then parental rights is going to be Senate Bill 414 and House Bill 524. Any other questions?
What about the 50% one?
The 50 percentile one would be the higher ed, which is going to be up for the committee hearing tomorrow. That would be 1543. Yes, sir. And that's authored by Senator Charles Pick. Yes, sir.
We're finding out that a whole bunch of committees are not putting stuffs on kiosks, and so that's not
In the Senate?
mandatory. So Senate and House both.
Interesting.
They're just not doing it, and it's up to the committee chairperson as whether or not it gets on the kiosk.
Got it.
And we've figured that out in the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
So if it's not on the kiosk, you probably need to go in and do the card thing.
Got it. Okay. We haven't had an issue with that yet, but that's good. Thank you for letting me know. Yes, ma'am.
Regarding the Tim Tebow bill,
Yes, ma'am.
kind of two questions. Has Texas Homeschool Coalition surveyed homeschoolers in Texas to see what percentage are in favor of this bill? Because
We
I'm a
have actually, yes.
homeschooler and I'm against the bill.
Yes. So
And then-
we started a. Well, actually, we didn't even start it. Somebody else started a petition online, and this is kind of the extent of where we've gone with it. We've done other things as well, but this is. I think this is the number that speaks the most volumes right now. That petition was started at the beginning of the session. Roughly at the beginning of the session, we have over 3,400 supporters on it. Somebody started a petition in opposition to it about a month after we did, so it's been up for about 2 months now. And they have a little over 1,000 supporters. So for the most part, people really do like this. I would say, again, the main thing is just looking at statistics. I mean, we are in the minority right now of states that don't have it. 29 other states do have it currently. There's been really no problems that have followed this. So we just feel like statistically it's something that's been very successful and we don't really have a problem with it. But overall, people do like it. Did you have another question?
Yes, I was concerned about the testing provisions
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
bill. What percentage of the test, what test is it? What percentage of the test do homeschoolers have to get to be able to participate? And does the same standards apply to the students in the public school?
Yes. So currently, it would be. I know for a fact that it's the parent's responsibility to get the parent or to get the child tested. Is there a certain test on the bill that it's
Right.
mandatory they have to take? I know it's standardized.
They can take any national standardized test
Okay.
that they want, and the parent gets to choose the test, and they don't have to submit the scores unless they want to participate, so it's optional.
And then, do the public school students have a similar standard before they can participate in sports and extracurricular activities?
I mean, they have the grade point average. They have to maintain a certain GPA to be at least passing their classes, from what I've been told. As far as standardized testing, I don't remember.
So really, it's adding something that homeschoolers have to do that the public schools don't have to do.
That is not correct.
Okay.
Public
In
school
order to
students
compete,
do.
in order to compete in UIL, you have to pass the state standardized test. You also
Okay.
have to maintain a 6 weeks average.
So they do have to
The
take
UIL
states.
bill only requires one test a year.
Okay.
The public school students have to take a test every 6 weeks,
Okay.
standardized test, and of course.
So that's what I was wondering, if they do have to take standardized tests.
And the reason for that is oftentimes just transcripts are typically looked down upon from homeschool students just because nobody
Right.
really, people have a hard time trusting them oftentimes.
Well, I'm
but that's
glad to
the
hear the
whole-
public schoolers have to pass a standardized test too,
Yes.
because
For sure.
public school standard transcripts are looked down upon sometimes as well.
Very true. Yeah, very true. And that whole idea was just to make it,
Okay.
I mean, the idea of standardized in
So
general.
we really get a choice of our
Yes.
standardized test, and they don't. So in
Of
that
course.
way,
And
we
it
do
is,
have an
and like
advantage.
Jeremy said, it is optional.
Okay.
It's not something that's required,
Thank you.
for sure. Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.